Hello,
Hello, Connie.
John.
How are you?
Fine. How are you?
Very well indeed. Lovely to speak to you.
Where are you calling from?
Melbourne, Australia.
Oh, you're from Australia. Okay, John.
Okay, if you're all comfortable and set to go, we'll get started. I'll try not to stretch your memory too much, but we'll see how we go.
Okay.
A few years ago, you put out the second of your autobiographies, and this one went into much more detail than your first book and covered a lot of very personal events in your life that nobody would blame you for wanting to keep private. What was your motivation in putting it all out there this time?
Well, the first book I had to do in a year, and there was a lot of stuff that I left out, and in the reviews they complained about that. So I decided to write a more comprehensive book.
Going back through your life, you grew up in an environment where there were mobsters and mafia connections around you. As a young girl, how much did you understand and how aware were you of the nature of the business of these people?
Well, my father taught me everything about them. I said, Daddy, what is the mafia? He said, the mothers and fathers of Italians Association. I said, cute acronym, but really, what is it about? And he told me. He explained it to me. And I said, how did they get so powerful? And he said, prostitution and the unions and World War II.
Can you recall the very first time you got up on stage to sing?
I was 4 years old in a pink ruffled dress, and I sang Anchors Away at Olympic Amusement Park in Irvington, New Jersey.
Wow, that's obviously a very clear memory to you. And were you pretty much taken by the stage straight away? You weren't nervous at all? You were very comfortable on stage?
No, I wasn't nervous at all, and I knew that this had to be my future when I heard that applause.
I believe in the very early days you used to accompany yourself on piano accordion, but you grew to really dislike that instrument. Is that right?
On the accordion, not the piano.
The accordion, yeah. You didn't like...
In fact, I'm taking piano lessons now.
Oh, are you really?
Yes.
And the accordion, you weren't really fond of the accordion, were you?
I hated the accordion. When it died in a flood in my basement in 1967, I threw a big party.
Taking on the stage name of Connie Francis, were you and your father both happy to do that at the time?
Yes, he didn't mind, but my name has never been legally changed.
Oh, really?
I'm still Connie Frankenero.
Your father had a distinct influence on getting your music career off the ground and becoming successful, but the downside of that was, I believe, he had a very controlling nature over your life. It must have created some conflicting emotions for you at the time.
It was a combustible relationship, a love-hate relationship.
Did you learn to forgive his controlling ways with the passing of time?
Yes, when he was much older and a lot mellower.
Now, your breakthrough hit, of course, was Who's Sorry Now? I believe you initially also had a dislike for that song.
Yes, he didn't want me to. He wanted me to record that for a year and a half, and I said, when was it written anyway? And he said 1923, and I said the kids on American Bandstand will laugh me right off the show. And he said, if you don't sing this song, sister, the only way you'll ever get on American Bandstand is if you sit on top of the television set. So it was the fourth song at the session, and I took all my time doing the first three songs so I wouldn't get through Sorry Now. But there was 16 minutes left of the session, and he said, I don't care if I have to glue you to that microphone. Get up there and do one take of that song. And that's what I did, 1.5 takes. and it was out for 3 months, and it did nothing. Just like my previous 10 records did nothing until one day on New Year's Day, Dick Clark happened to pick it up from his desk, and he played it, and he liked it, and he played it every day until it sold 1 million copies.
Of course, yeah, it became a major hit all around the world. Did you grow to love the song with the passing of time?
I grew to love the song with the passing of time.
You were initially rejected by a lot of record companies. How disheartening was that at the time?
I was rejected by all of them, except MGM. Mitch Miller at CBS said she sounds like 50,000 other girl singers. Save your money, boys.
Did it ever get to the point where you felt like giving up?
No. I'm not a giving up person.
No, you don't strike me as a giving up type of person at all. Looking back now, how do you think you coped with the pressures of stardom? Because it was thrust upon you at quite a young age. Was it very difficult to remain level-headed?
No, it wasn't. It was part of my nature.
A significant achievement I've always thought that you had was that your success crossed generations. You were able to, at the same time, appeal to the teenage audiences, but the adult audience as well. Was that important to you to be someone that could bridge that generational gap?
Yes, with Who's Sorry Now, that happened in England. It became the first hit by a American female artist, and it was #1 there for 6 weeks.
Can you pick out a single moment in those days in your early career where it really became obvious to you or really hit you that you'd become a star, that you've achieved celebrity status?
What was that, John?
Was there a particular moment that stands out to you in your early career there where it really became apparent to you that you'd achieved a celebrity status? That
the moment that Dick Clark played Who's Sorry Now, I knew my life would change forever, and it did.
Yeah. Did you have a lot of say in the choosing of material to record back in the day?
Yes, I could choose whatever I wanted to record. And that's unfortunate because had MGM had a good A&R man, I would have done a lot of great albums that I failed to do, like the songbook of George Gershwin and Harold Arlen and Cole Porter, things like that I failed to do. And so the twist and fun songs for children, I would have recorded much more sophisticated material had I had some guidance, but there was no guidance of an MGM.
You met and you had some friendships with some of the all-time greats, not just in music, but in general entertainment as well. One that was particularly close to you was Bobby Darin. Tell us about Bobby and the effect that he had on your life.
Bobby was the love of my life and still is to this day.
Do you remember when you first met?
Yes, he came to my manager's office to play me a song he had written. He had written some jingles for radio. And this was his first song that he wrote with Johnny Kirshner, who became a super star publisher. And I made a couple of changes in the song. And he said, "That's all she wrote, lady. I'm splitting." And he took the music and he walked out. And then he reconsidered and came back the next day with the changes I had made. And the name of the song was My First Real Love.
And you both almost...
And it was a big bomb.
You almost became husband and wife, didn't you?
Yes, we almost did. But I knew that I foresaw something in that decision, and it would have been a funeral, both of ours. My father would have killed both of us.
Oh, goodness. He didn't like Bobby, did he?
No, he didn't like him at all. That's putting it mildly.
You were one of the first artists to record and successfully in foreign languages as well. You had a great deal of success doing that. Was that something you were comfortable in doing at the time? Did it require a lot of work to learn those songs in different languages?
No, I have a facility for languages, and again, that was my father's idea. When I was 14 years old, he said, "Someday, if you ever make it," and that's a long shot, but if you ever do, you ought to record in Japanese and German because they're going to become our biggest allies. And at the time, it didn't seem possible.
You got a lot of things right, didn't he, about your career?
Pardon?
Your father got a lot of things right about your career. A lot of his decisions were.
The Italian album was my father's idea too, which I didn't want to record. I said they were going to start asking for my passport at the movies. And I didn't want to do an all-Italian album, but it turned out to be my biggest album.
Reading other interviews with you, the name Dick Clark often comes up as an important figure in your life. Tell us about Dick and what he meant to you as a friend and a supporter. He was a great supporter of yours, wasn't he?
Without Dick Clark, there would have been no Connie Francis. I was ready to go back to college.
Yeah.
And become a doctor. Until Dick Clark played Who's Sorry Now. And he was my closest friend in show business. My only genuine friend in show business.
The comedian Don Rickles was another dear friend who I believe he owed his life to you, really, and wasn't even aware of it at the time. There's a wonderful story there. Can you tell us about that?
You mean about Don Rickles?
Yeah.
Oh, when he asked me out on a date, and he rented a shiny new red Corvette car to take me to this fancy theater where they had valets. And it was in the afternoon. And when we pulled up, the valet said to Dom, "Wow, Mr. Rickles, she's a beauty." And I said, "Why, thank you." He said, "The car's on me, the car."
You had a film career as well. How do you look back on your film career now? Was that a field you were comfortable with doing?
No. My Gone with the Wind, Where the Boys Are was my Gone with the Wind, and everything after that was downhill. I'm not proud of my movie career at all. I should have taken it more seriously. I had a contract that allowed me to choose directors, co-stars, scripts, and I didn't take advantage of it. I just did whatever they gave me.
Right.
And I regret that to this day, because it was a fabulous contract.
Have you seen any of those old movies recently, or they're just you don't even look at them?
I avoid them like the plague.
Mm-hmm. A life-changing moment for you, of course, was the brutal attack that you endured in 1974. You retreated and became a very private person after that for many years. Talk us through those years.
7 years.
Yeah, 7 years. Talk us through those 7 years following that. Was there a moment when things turned around for you that you felt okay about getting back in the public spotlight again?
Well, my brother was murdered. I have to assume the matriarch of the family role again, because my parents were devastated, and his wife and his 2 children. I had to take care of the entire family. And that's when I decided to go back to work.
And what also followed was the wonderful work that you've done through the years for the victims of violent crimes. What are some of your proudest achievements in that work that you've done?
A law called Proposition 8 in California, which is the toughest crime bill in the country, I had passed. And there's also a bill in New York called, let me try to think of the name of it now. Anyway, it was a bill that said that a woman had to show resistance. It was called the earnest resistance law. Mm-hmm. Had to show resistance to a rape before she could even prosecute. And I had that bill overturned in Albany.
You've also done a lot of work for military veterans as well. What are some of the proud achievements there for you?
A telethon for veterans that we did in 2011 to help veterans suffering from PTSD and traumatic brain injuries. Anything that has to do with veterans I'm interested in. I don't think they're treated very well.
No.
Not well enough.
talking, just going back to those years you spent away, those 7 years you spent away from your career, do you recall the feeling when you finally did get back on stage again after returning?
I had shows for 3 days. I was just so overwhelmed to be back on stage, and the reaction of the audience was amazing. I got 5 standing ovations, and it was thrilling.
So what's a typical day like for Connie Francis these days? What keeps you busy, Connie?
Writing, reading, watching television, watching Netflix, visiting with friends now, thank God. I can visit with friends I haven't seen for over a year. And things like that.
I think I heard you're a bit of a Scrabble champion too.
Yeah, I'm a great Scrabble player. I defy anyone to beat me in Scrabble.
I hope I'm going to take you up on that one day. I believe that at one point there were plans to make a movie about your life story. Is that still on the cards?
Yes, it is.
It is. At what stage is that, do you know?
Pardon?
At what stage is that at the moment? Is it still in the planning stages, or?
Well, it's being written by the man who wrote Green Book, who won an Academy Award for the movie Green Book. Nick Vale.
Wonderful. And has it been casted yet?
And it's for television, for an 8-part television series, because he said my story cannot be told in 2 hours in a film for movies.
That's very true. That's very true. And is there any idea at this stage who will be playing your part?
No.
Right, so it's still to be cast.
Right.
Right. Anyone in particular you would like to see play the role of Connie Francis on screen?
Adriana Grande.
Ah. Connie, what would be the best piece of career advice you could give to a young singer about to start and embark on a career?
Well, if you live in the New York area or Los Angeles area, it's much easier because you're in striking distance of all the auditions that are open to you. But I went to 200 auditions before I ever made it. And you have to have a lot of perseverance and a lot of self-pride and a lot of self-assurance. And that's not easy to come by when you're just starting out.
No, I would say a very thick skin is required too.
Right.
Yeah. If there was one, I know you can't go back and change anything, but if there was one thing you could go back and change over your life and career, what would it be?
My brother's murder.
Of course. Hey, Connie, thank you so much for your time. It's been wonderful, and actually it's been an honour and a privilege to speak to you, and thanks for being so generous with your time this morning.
Thank you, John. I enjoyed it.
Thank you for all the wonderful music you've given us through the years and the wonderful entertainment, and I'll let you go and enjoy the rest of your day.
Thank you so much. You take care now.
You too. Have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.